Tammy Sue?
I'm doing great.
You went clubbing last night. Are you still alive from last night?
I am. You're not.
Yeah.
Took the old goat out.
Yeah, the old goat's voice is
And
a bit...
he sat around like an old goat.
Oh, goat. All right, here we go. Christine Dominique, quick question. So she did, on the Fine Care machine, progesterone test was 6.78 on the 23rd. First AI was the 25th and the 26th. What is possible due date? Well, okay, so the one thing that you didn't do that I recommend that you do in the future is you do another progesterone test when you think you're finished to find out what the numbers are. Because the problem is, a dog that is a 6.78 could go backwards on you and you wouldn't know it. So what you assumed is 7's about ovulation on a Fine Care. You'd bred 2 days later. That in itself is reasonable. So let's say that the correct due date, the correct breeding date was the 25th. 31 days later would get you till June, July, September the 24th. So what date is best for reverse progesterone? Well, I'd be monitoring a temperature, and as the temperature drops and gets around to 99 or close to it, I do my first progesterone test. But I mean, it's very variable, so I can't give you a date it's all about how close you are to the due date, what her temperature is, the way she's behaving, all those things decide when to do a reverse progesterone. Yasika Cancel, at what age can you start studying out a Frenchie?
Studying out.
Mm-hmm.
AKC will accept it if he's producing at 7 months. But normally it's anywhere from 7 to 10 months on your stud boys when they're starting to be working boys.
And 7 months would be early. I don't think I've ever seen a dog that's done much in 7 months. They might be split a little bit.
I've heard a couple of few that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't expect to get much of a collection at 7 months, if any. But typically, you're starting to work with a dog around 9 months, and it's fully on board by 11 months. That'd be kind of normal, but I mean, it's variable. Brian Hansen asks, what is the earliest a dog will have morning sickness?
Oh, it can be from day one, just like in humans.
Or not at all.
Right, or not at all.
Right. So again, very, very...
Finicky eating or eating a lot. You know, it's just like humans. Yep. They're all different, so...
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, you like to see, I mean, you don't want your dog to feel sick, of course, but at the same time, it kind of gives you the idea that maybe your dog is pregnant. So not eating much food, sleeping more, changing its behavior, being more clingy.
Our girls are sleeping more.
Yep, both of us. And then boobs getting a bit big, especially showing in Deja Vu, who's never had a litter before.
Yeah.
It's her second heat. And she is getting nipples that are quite a bit longer, so I think that we're probably in good shape on her.
She can't go.
All right.
She's making that person scoot over so she could get out.
Bronte Lear Lie Gill, Mastiff Lovers, that's a long name. Wondering, can they be born like this? I showed a picture of a swimmer or flat-chested puppies. Can they be born like this? No, this is typically something that develops. So what you see in the swimmer chest, or the flat chest, or the swimmer puppy, is the big fat puppy with a mama that's got lots of milk, maybe a small litter even, because then they get tons and tons of milk, and they just get lazy, and they don't have to get up on their feet, and they just
We've got so many comments from this, and we've got so many different YouTube videos on this that, you know, if you'll Google in or use the word flat chest, I bet you that'll pull up on our YouTube videos. And so...
Kat's Shiba Inu says, lol, I can't decide if I watch you guys because you make me laugh a lot or because of the good info you have. Hey, it's a win-win, right?
Hey, we got to make people laugh anymore.
That's right. Talking about laughing.
The world needs a lot of laughter.
Here's what I was asked the other day. What is the best kind of sex?
James. Oh, God.
And the answer is surprise sex, unless you're an inmate.
James, it's...
That was funny. Oh, cute. If you think it's funny, let me know. If you want me to stop telling jokes like that, let me know and I'll stop, because Tammy doesn't.
Well, you offend some people.
That's never the intention. It doesn't matter. Never the intention.
You always offend somebody.
Some of our videos.
I'm not just saying you, but
no. Some of our videos offend people.
You can't keep everybody happy.
No, you can't. And I mean, you know.
The less you say, the better.
Well, yeah. You mean me personally, right? So you say that.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, you know, you run the risk of offending people, and that's never our intention ever. But I mean, unfortunately, we get a few comments where people aren't. So maybe I get some comments on. Let's find out. If people think that's terrible, let me know. It's just a joke, folks.
Yeah. James likes to entertain.
Hannah Shepherd, I love your content, all of your knowledge. I have a few questions. I have a female who's having her first litter next week.
Yay, congratulations.
Yep. And I've a breeding consultation with my breeding specialist back in April to make sure she was going to good and all was clear. A few weeks ago at an ultrasound appointment, the vet realized that both her patellas were out of place and put them back easily. He told me that I shouldn't breed her again. I know it's a genetic issue, and you can't test for that, correct? The stud used does not have any patella issues. How do you... Okay, so the first thing is, look, you get the valuable information about this litter you're about to have. So the first question is, should you breed again? Well, if you start getting dogs that have patella issues, probably not. But it does take two to tango. And so what you'd expect to see, if both dogs have got some genetic tendency to produce loose knees, then you'd think they'd both have some gene that we can't test for. In that case, you'd expect a quarter of the litter to be afflicted. So that's the first thing. So if you have a litter of 4 puppies and you get 1, 2, or none, it's not hugely meaningful, but there's the first part. So the second part about this is you say, would you wait to have a spade until a few months after the C-section? You betcha I would, for a couple of reasons. The first thing is, do not do a spay at C-section, because your mum probably won't produce any milk. She may be feeling really rotten, not want to look after puppies. Don't do it. Too much blood loss, all kinds of reasons to absolutely not. And the other part about this is, wait and see what happens. Don't cross this bridge until you have to, and you don't know what that bridge is yet, because your puppies may be fine. So if all the puppies are fine, by the way, then next time I would just breed to a different stud dog if we can, just to rule that out. I'm not saying the stud dog's the problem, very likely not, but
maybe the two together may not tango real good.
Yeah, exactly. And then so what would you, and then said, how do you go about selling puppies that might have potential patella issues? Well, that's a difficult one, because I would think that you would know that these dogs have got problems by the time they're 7-8 weeks, especially if they're walking with knees flying out. And if that's the case, they're going to be pet quality puppies, and you need to disclose that. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say also, to help strengthen that, is making sure that they have something underneath them, like a little rug that you don't care about when they're babies crawling around, scooting around. Always have a towel or some kind of little rug for them to be able to catch their feet and their toenails and pull, develop the muscles across that to be
good. I like it.
More strengthened up.
Yes. And look, any puppy that leaves, before it leaves for its new home, should have a vet check, and you can specifically ask the vet to check the patellas for looseness and see. You can do it yourself. I've got a video on it. So it's something that you can do yourself. All right. How are we doing here?
Somebody's new vet.
Jeff. Yes. Jeff Morgan. Love the videos. Heated whelping system is great. Thank you for being a customer. We appreciate that.
You bet they're great. I don't know what I did without mine, for so long.
Got lots of people to say exactly that.
Oh, yeah. They're fantastic.
Of all the things we've come up with, I think that's the number one deal right there. I mean, it really does.
Well, I don't know, James. You got the traveling incubator that saves
I know.
lives of
But
puppies,
if you were going to have puppies, right? You've got a litter of puppies coming up.
Yeah,
and you had a choice of what you're going to...
puppy getting cold is the thing that usually kills them when they're newborn. And then puppies getting squashed is another. And that heated whelping system helps prevent all that.
So what you do, if you only had a couple $100 to spend, so you got $300 and you could buy...
I would buy the heated whelping system first.
I would too.
And then I would dive into the... Incubator. Well, now you need that progesterone machine, because that comes in real
but
handy.
you've got $3,000 there, so that's a pretty good stretch for most people.
I know that's a big one, but
I mean, here's the deal.
Save up your money to get that, because that thing pays for itself. Literally, more puppies, the correct date or the correct timing for having babies on the reverse part of it, and the correct timing on breeding.
I think it's all about how many litters do you expect to have. For instance, if you're going to make this something that you're going to really have fun with it and do it quite a bit, then I would invest in all the stuff, because I promise you'll have a situation where you will lose a puppy or puppies because you don't have the right equipment. And that single loss of a puppy is a big heartache, and more than covers the cost of all of this stuff together. But
let that puppy
even if you're having a single litter, I think the whelping system makes absolute sense. I don't know, I've turned this into a sales deal now, so I apologize for that. But we're and I'll answer his question here at the end, because I haven't even answered that yet. But I think the first thing is the whelping system, because even with a single litter, it makes your life so much easier.
Oh, gosh.
And it makes the puppies happier and mum happier, and it reduces the chance of getting milk flowing out of their noses, pneumonia. So the second would be is the incubator, because you've got to get vets to and from. You've got to get puppies to and from the vet, and it's a safe way of doing it, and it isolates them from all the germs and nasties that are in a vet's office. Puppy care kit, great. Anyway, look, enough of that. Here we go. So I would love if you took a look at Bull's Angels prenatal vitamins. Tell us what you think. I know this one, there is 4 milligrams of folic acid. I haven't looked at that product. I will look at it. I do like the fact that it's got 4 milligrams of folic acid, because the number that I come up with from the papers that I've read is 5 milligrams. 4 milligrams is close enough to 5 that I can buy 4 as being fine. And if you look at other products like Oxymama and things like that, they have hardly any. They have like 0.8 of a milligram, and I don't think that's enough. So my guess is the Bull's Angels is probably good.
Well, you need to look at it first.
I need to look at it first. And that's enough for this one, so thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.